Yeah, so we're going to be starting week 1 and week 2 against the Eagles and the Cowboys, 2 division rivalries. And yeah, it's going to be we got to play our hearts out, boys, if we're going to win this year. Now, I'm confident that we will win.
An offensive
but I'm not confident.
Once you've made your game plan, choose to start training.
Yeah. Okay. But I didn't realize this until I ended the last video. We're gonna be starting Bryce Love at running back. I don't see him usually developing the sim, but if I can develop him how I want him, he'll be a great player. Alright. Hundreds and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Hey, she wanted like me cause I like she can count on him. She tried to be nosy and hit her mag, she like, girl, you can count on him. Hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board like them keep the score.
The first round pick starts on day 1. Is the coach. This is opening weekend
on
EA Sports.
Dwayne Haskins,
coming up, Dwayne Haskins, your time is now. The 15th overall pick, wearing a very familiar number 7, gets a start on opening day. But his Redskins are in for a stern test against a returning Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll be back at halftime with a look at games in progress. But now let's join Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thanks, Coach. Just north of the Delaware Expressway and east of Broad Street, we find ourselves at Lincoln Financial Field in South Philly. The scene in South Philly a few moments ago. Boy, the city of brotherly love is fired up. They're saying, fly, Eagles, fly, as they get ready to match up with the Washington Redskins. So happy to be with you, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis, and we thought it would never get here, but here we are back together. It's opening weekend of the 100th season in the NFL.
So much football to talk about. That's our main focus. But how about how much happened in the offseason? Rules changes. Overtime rules were discussed in a big way. Some superstars changed addresses. There's a whole lot to talk about in the NFL in addition to this game we're getting ready to watch.
Got some comments coming in. My cousin's probably gonna watch this game. Oh boy. Yeah, this is the second episode of the franchise, guys, so if you guys want to see more episodes, leave a like.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Yeah. Let's see what the defense can do. I'm not confident that we'll win this game, but no, there's always a chance.
I'm going from back to you. I'm going from back to you. What's up? Let's go. What's up?
Now a two-time 1,000-yard rusher for the Bears. This is Jordan Howard, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage. Stuff him in the back.
Oh, there you go.
That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, set the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive.
Pin the mirrors back and go full strength. What's up?
Shotgun now for Wentz. This complete left side to Aguilar. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood what the 3rd down play was. the down and distance and made sure
now,
that they didn't get anywhere
guys,
near that, bring him fourth down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to it. And made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
Now on fourth down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away.
Stuff learning the game. A lot of new stuff has
Able to power through. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10.
Van Haskins. My man from Ohio State.
Haskins now off the bootleg. Steps away. And he rifles one incomplete. Jordan Reed was the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 now. Haskins buying time to his left. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Here's Bryce Love getting his inaugural NFL carry. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. So opening drive, 3 straight runs, unable to pick up the 1st.
I know the fans want to see 1st downs, but guess what? The coaches have reasons for what they're doing. Sometimes they've scripted it, and some of these runs, while they haven't been successful now, they may be successful later on.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one. Haskins will throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Fletcher Cox, the former Mississippi State Bulldog, ringing the cowbell there on the sack. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the Haskins hit, and he lost the football. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. We don't care if it was luck or skill, or the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground. Whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this 1st quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And out now come the Eagles. And a 3 and out on that 1st drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That 1st series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that 1st drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a 2nd opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. Now 2nd quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession. They're up against a 3rd and 2 to start things out.
Situation. Let's go.
They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that first down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. From the gun on third down, Wentz. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now fourth down. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
A reminder coming up later tonight, the Patriots unfurl their 6 banners. They play host to their rival Steelers. And then on Monday night, it's the one weekend of the year where you get 2 games to wrap up the week. Texans and Saints from New Orleans in the early game, then Broncos and Raiders. Vic Fangio's coaching debut and the Raiders' final season opener in Oakland. That's the late game, 10:30 Eastern.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the
Eagle pressure. Too much this time. Down he goes. Fletcher Cox getting him once again. His 3rd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
It got his man complete. A huge play there for Washington. 54 yards. That's a heck of a way to convert on 3rd and long, and he showed a lot of trust in his receiver.
And that trust was justified because he went up and got the football and converted on a down. You shouldn't. 3rd and long like that, that's supposed to be an incompletion at the least.
Swipe, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Fletcher Cox, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the pressure gets to him again. Fletcher Cox able to record his 5th sack of the season.
So one thing they like you inside is block. It's a freaking Fletcher Cox. God damn.
2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half.
All you can do. That's what they have to do in the winning team.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. That'll be caught right side by Reed. And he'll get this inside of Philly's 20 before being taken down. Might want to remember that 3rd down play, 37 yards. Not really any offense for them to speak of here in this first half. Maybe that's what they needed. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. From 17 yards out, and the Redskins are able to strike for 6. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, Everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Being chased out left. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Let's go. Come on, guys.
Wentz to throw on 3rd and 1. Aguilar has it. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On first down, Wentz. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Wentz to throw. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. The Pro Bowl tight end Zach Ertz, the intended target. And it's 2nd down.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Mason Foster able to take him down. It's a loss of 3. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his off. Back out there for a look at Washington as they come onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 69 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams...
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Redskins. 5 yards on the touchdown run. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Well, they had to run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And they get him down about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A third down pickup of 5.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. Taking it about the 16. Give him 11 yards that time on the return.
Right, guys,
and the offense will take over.
I have to do some stuff, so that's going to wrap it up for episode 1, or episode 2. Not a lot changes. We'll jump in as needed.
So hail to the Redskins as they get the victory here. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for Washington, you can't ask for a better start as they pitch a shutout here in the opener. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
We had one sack. Oh my word, that's bad. That's good. 1 second, over 3 minutes. 3 tackles for loss for failure. 1 for a handful of plays. Yeah. Not bad. 80% completion percentage from Haskins, so that's pretty good. That's really, really good. Haskins is on his way to being pretty decent player.
Now let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team.
That's gonna be all, guys, for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you next episode.